I wanted to talk about loving yourself or are you punishing yourself? And I just want to ask you this question and keep it in your mind for the next week or so. Are you loving yourself by not allowing yourself to have what you want, have what you need in your life, whatever that is in your personal or your professional life? Are you loving on yourself when you don't allow yourself to have loving relationships, when you don't allow yourself to travel and have experiences with people that you love and care about? Are you loving yourself when you stay at home alone all the time and not connect to the people that you really care about? So I want you to start asking yourself, are you loving the people around you when you do that to yourself? I got off a couple of client calls the last couple of days with people, and what's happening a lot for all of us, including me, is that we're not loving ourselves. We're punishing ourselves. And what happens, and I'm just going to use this as an example. This is my little doll from Guatemala that I picked up last year. And what happens is that a lot of us have a lot of belief systems, bad stuff that has happened to us, some burning secrets that we've never told anybody else that are in our system and are not allowing us to love ourselves in a deeper level. And what happens is that those big shadows from our past, from those people that have hurt us, are basically what they're doing is they have this chokehold around us allowing ourselves to love ourselves, allowing other people to love us. And I just want to ask you, when you hold back from loving yourself, whatever that is, maybe it's creatively, if you what you love to dance or you love to paint or something and you don't do it, is that loving yourself? Are you loving yourself when you don't reach out and call a friend and get really vulnerable and say, you know what, I made a mistake. I'm sorry, and have those authentic, real conversations? Are you loving people that you work with or clients or whoever you're working by not being authentic, not being real in what you're doing? So what I've been seeing a lot, I'm looking at myself as well, is that we punish ourselves. And I go back to punishing ourselves because some people in our past have hurt us, and we have these limiting beliefs that are still running around, rocking and rolling in our head, that are not allowing us to breathe and have that freedom and that fun and have what we want, and what those old belief systems that I'm not good enough, I don't matter, that I don't deserve this, I'm not safe, or whatever it is that it is suffocating and choking who we are and not allowing us to grow into our potential and who we are. So I just want you to keep that in mind in the next week, is that whatever action, whatever behavior that you're doing to yourself or to others, is it loving you? Is it loving them? And are you punishing yourself? Because what I know for sure, that with a lot of my clients and what I've done in my life, because I've had so many friggin' addictions, and every friggin' addiction that I've gone through, I looked at the deeper level of it and I was punishing myself. I'm not allowing myself to have the life that I want. And I'm self-sabotaging, self-flagellating, self-harming myself by not allowing myself to love myself at a deeper level, by changing the way I look at life and how I show up in life. And I'm seeing that around me so much now, is that how can you love yourself more deeply? And that's loving yourself more deeply is allowing yourself to ask these questions. Am I loving myself in this action, in this choice, in this decision? Am I loving those people around us by this decision, this action, this choice that you're having? And it's all of this is not about judgment. It's not about getting your whip out and like self punishing yourselves. Like I'm not perfect. It's not about that. It's about awareness and being self aware that we are constructing and building lives that we're in prisons. We're in these little blocks, these glass walls, or whatever you want to call it, that we can't move around. And I want you to start to look at, are you loving yourself by these actions, these choices, these decisions? Are you allowing other people to love you? Or are you allowing you to love other people by these action choices, these decisions that you're making? And probably what's happening is going to happen is when you start asking that question, those questions, and if you're asking the question, am I trying to punish myself? You're probably going to get the answer is 90% of the time you're going to say, no, I'm not loving myself. Yes, I'm punishing myself. And this is the thing that's going to be interesting because you're going to be like, holy shit, what am I doing to myself? And I want you to have that holy shit, what I'm doing to myself, because you will start to change the path, the trajectory of your life, and how you show up in your relationships and your work and whatever you're doing. And I want you to have that. And I want you to have that, and because you're going to start to make different choices, different decisions, because what I know for sure is that everybody wants to love themselves and love other people. And there's a lot of BS there. There's a lot of belief systems, bad stuff, burning secrets, burning shadows, big shadows from our past that might not be allowing us to have that freedom. And these questions are going to help you step back and start looking at loving yourself a little bit more deeply. And it's not about self-flagellation. It's not about self-punishing yourself because you're not perfect. It's not about self-harming you anymore. It's about just being aware that these voices, these people that might have hurt you in your past, have a stranglehold of on your life that they're not allowing you to have that freedom to show up and just be grounded in who you are. Because what I want for you is to step back and allow yourself to love yourself. Allow yourself to have people in your life that are going to love you. And sometimes we have to look at those different actions and those choices and those decisions that we all make on a daily basis, maybe even an hourly basis, that are not loving. They're not, and they're punishing ourselves for stupid shit that happened to us through others. And a lot of the deeper issues are around shame, blame, and guilt. So I just want you to take a step back, ask yourself these questions. Am I loving myself? Am I loving others through my actions, my decisions, my choices today? And am I trying to punish myself? And those questions are going to open up uh, a lot of things for you. And because I started asking myself these questions for the last few months because I've been on a burnout, and I haven't been loving myself. I have not been loving others. I'm not allowing others to love me, and I've been punishing myself. And I've been seeing a lot of people around me and doing the same friggin' thing. So I just want you to step back and love yourself a little bit more. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want you to love yourself just a little bit more today, because there's a lot of people out there that want to love you and care for you and hug you and say you're special. But we have to create a space. We have to get some of that junk out. We have to take our shovel out and get that junk out so that we can create a space that we can allow loving moments and loving people to come into our life. So, am I loving myself today by through these actions, decisions, choices, or am I trying to punish myself? Am I trying to punish others? Because we're all in this together, and I want you to have the best life possible, and I want you to step back and look at what is blocking you, what is holding you back, And a lot of those voices are holding you back, and a lot of those voices are holding us back. And I want you to be able to create space to look at the potential that is there in all of us. We all have the potential to have everything in our life, and but we can't have that if we feel like we're in a prison trapped all the time in this small friggin' box that has been constructed around us by whomever that has been in our life. It's not serving anybody. So that's my thing today, and I'm wishing you a wonderful week. And reach out to those people that you care about and that you love, and and if that's a loving thing for you, please do that. If you need to have authentic conversations with people that is going to love you and love them, then I want you to do that, because that's going to shift so much. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to start to connect again. And I'm seeing a lot of people around me, including myself, and one of the things that burnt me out was that we're so friggin' disconnected now on these friggin', I have 4 friggin' cell phones around here for all my videos, but we're disconnected. So are we loving ourselves by being this so disconnected? Pick up the phone and call people if that's part of loving yourself and loving them. Reach out to them. So yeah. So that's my saying. Are you loving yourself? Are you punishing yourself by some of these choices, actions, and behaviors and habits that you have? And it's not about being perfect. It's not about changing everything overnight. That would be a stupid thing to say. It's about just taking a small step and just being self-aware and being aware of what you need, and shifting just 1%. If a boat shifts 1% in the sea on their travels, they go in a totally different direction in 2 months or even 2 days. So by just making a little shift in your mindset around loving yourself, or you're punishing yourself, it's gonna show up. There's gonna be some drastic changes in the next week, in the next month for you, in the next year. So I just want you to just shift a little bit. Ask yourself why. Are you loving yourself? Are you loving other people? Are you punishing yourself in any way? So that's my thing. I wish you a wonderful day. Put some comments in here. I love to hear for you, because I want to connect to you, and I want to keep on doing these videos, because it's so important, because we're in this together. I want you to have the best life possible right here, right now, and loving yourself is part of the process. And I've harmed myself so much through addictions that I don't want you to do that to yourself. I want you to have your life, the best life today. And I've all these freaking experiences I've had it. I've learned a few things. Sometimes I still hit my head against the wall, but I want to give that information and that what I've learned over the past few years in my healing and recovery. So have a great day, and we'll talk soon in the next video.